Good day, gamers. PurpleMentat here, bringing you Stardew Valley, 2nd of spring, year 1. First thing that we're going to do every single day from now on is check the TV. We need to get the weather report. We find out that the forecast for tomorrow is rain all day. Fantastic. That is super awesome for us. That is very nice. When it rains, it means we don't have to water our crops personally. Second thing we're going to do, check the fortune teller. Hear the spirits whispering something to me. The spirits are mildly perturbed today. Luck will not be on your side. Good to know. It means that spending a bunch of time fishing is not in our best interests. Ooh, look at this. Hello there, just got back from a fishing trip. Speaking of fishing, Willie wants to give us something. Second thing we're going to do, grab our watering can out of our chest, along with our mixed seeds, and we're going to deposit a horseradish, a dandelion, a leek, and a daffodil. Now, moving forward, we are going to save every leek and every daffodil that we find. However, every other dandelion and horseradish is now available either for consumption or sale. We do not need them after today. As long as we have the one, we're in good shape. Once again, get your wild seeds planted, and then it's all about that watering. Now, I like to play with the controller. However, when I have the single space watering, which we'll be able to upgrade this later on, I tend to use the mouse to target where I'm going to water and walk around with the thumbstick on the controller. It's interesting the times that I end up swapping out part of my controls for the controller instead. I mean, for the keyboard or the mouse. It's not an all-the-time thing, but sometimes it is extremely helpful. Alright, we are going to leave our pickaxe behind because we're not going to be spending any of our very limited energy on anything except gathering wood and maybe some special items if we happen to come across them. Now, why are we so limited on energy? Well, because despite my saying how important it was to get to bed before 2, it's actually important to get to bed even earlier than that. Because if you're up past 1, you'll wake up the next day with half energy. I think maybe it's even earlier. You might need to get to bed before midnight or end up with half energy. I'm not 100% certain on that one. Usually by day 2, energy is no longer an issue for me, but this time it is. If you head out the top, you end up in the backwoods. You can meet Linus up here in the mountains. He lives out here alone. He is our resident homeless that lives in a tent. You can learn more of his story later on if you actually speak with him and bring him gifts and that sort of thing. Developing your relationships is an important aspect of this game. There we go, a couple of wild horseradish. Nice. That's something. This is the Carpenters Hut. They don't open until 9. That is where Robin, Demetrius, Maru, and Sebastian live. Maru and Sebastian are 2 of the romantic potentials, and that's also where you'll be going to get your house upgrades and have new farm buildings built. There's Maru now. As it is Tuesday, she is on her way to work at the clinic that Harvey runs. Dr. Harvey is another of the romantic interests, and has a rather interesting storyline to him. Darn, no seeds. Love this soundtrack. But again, we're going to clean up everything, all of the stray random weeds that are around town, so that we can attempt to clear more space for things to grow. We're going to do our foraging run in the morning right now. Ooh. And you can check the calendar here to find out when things are happening. It is very important, in my opinion, to have 1,000 gold available on the 13th at the Egg Festival. There is a seed that you can only buy during the Egg Festival, and I like to get 10 of them. And getting more than that is not really valuable, in my opinion, because if you're going for pure money, there are better things you can do, and if you're not going for pure money, then you don't need more than a few of something. Soccer newspaper. Junk! Nothing. This is the blacksmith's. Clint. He is good for a few options. And next door to him is Gunther in the museum. And we'll head down here to the beach. We have 2 goals for today. 1, to gather as many forageables as we can and try to get our foraging up. 2, well, I guess 3 goals. We're going to meet Willie, the fisherman here. He's got a present for us. There's quite a few of these scenes in the game. Most of them come as you increase your relationship with people, but there are a few introductory scenes that you'll see during the first week. Guy's a little high-strung. Ooh, new fishing rod for him. Which means we get a hand-me-down fishing rod. He runs the bait shop here. Fishing is going to be an extremely important option. Very important activity in the game to be able to accomplish everything. If it smells itself. I still like that one. Now, your very first time fishing, you cannot fail. And it is worth throwing the pole in the water that one time early on. As it says, you can click to raise the bar. If you're using the controller, it's the X button instead of left click. Tapping will kind of keep it into place. Holding will cause it to shoot to the top. The other important thing to know is that time goes on while you are fishing, and this thing has momentum. If it hits the bottom, it will bounce. If it hits the top and you're not holding the button, it will also bounce. So it gets tough to keep it there. The big trick to fishing is knowing that you can hold the button to keep to accelerate. Go ahead and sell that before we run off. Alright, got a clam here. More money. Yay! And nothing else? Nothing else. That's okay, we'll be unlocking a much more awesome foraging area over there. Oh, hey look, worms. Worms are a very important thing. I'm bad at spotting them usually. Clay. You can get some really awesome things from the worms. You need to use your hoe on them. They can spawn anywhere on a dirt path, anywhere on the beach, and a few other spots. They will never spawn on your farm, as far as I know. Ooh, acorn. That's cool. So clay is not super valuable, but it does have some utility. So if you end up needing to throw things away, consider clay somewhat useful. This is Leia. She lives out here and does art. If you have the time, it's worth speaking to everyone that first time. When you talk to people every single day, you do gain a little bit of relationship status with them. It's not a lot, but it adds up over time. And if you don't talk to them every day, you lose a little bit of relationship status with them. Again, not a lot, but it adds up over time. So, our other goals. We want to get as close to 300 wood as we can as quickly as possible. That is what is going to be needed to repair that bridge on the beach. And when we repair the bridge on the beach, we will be able to access a new, much more profitable foraging area. So, we're going to chop every log that's out here to open up more area for forageables to spawn. We're going to cut down all of the grass that we find. We have another good 10 hours before we need to start thinking about getting into bed for the night. And then hopefully we'll find enough stuff out here that we will reach Foraging Level 1, because that is the key to making the early game nice and pleasant. Once you are at Foraging 1, you unlock a new recipe that is extremely helpful. Crafting recipe, that is. Learning your way around is very, very important. You can start learning your way around by using the map up here and seeing in general where everything is. You'll see where you are in relation to the town at large, and if you mouse over something, it'll tell you what it is when it's open. For example, Marty's Ranch, open 9 to 4 most days, though that is a lie. It is open 9 to 4 whenever Marnie happens to feel like it, which sometimes is most days, and other times she'll be closed for 5 days at a time. Most days. Marnie's is where you will get your animals, and also when you where you can buy feed for your animals. And in the winter, if you have not gotten yourself a bunch of stuff in advance, a bunch of hay stocked up, it is your only source of feed for your animals. So if you happen to run out, and she decides that she's going to take the week off, as she sometimes does, you're kind of out of luck. Oh man, terrible forage. There's that luck working against us. That's okay. There should be something at the bus stop or we went through the mountain pass already. We're just having a bad day as far as foraging goes. We might need to chop down a couple of trees just to get our foraging up. Alright. That's what we're going to start doing. Now, I have tested the experience gain mechanics. For foraging, the things that will increase your experience are picking up items off of the ground or chopping down a tree. Only the tree counts. Chopping down the stump does not help. And as we need to get foraging to 1 and our energy is limited, we're only going to chop the tree, which takes 10 chops to cut it off the stump. When you chop down a tree, you'll gain around 12 wood, and there's a pile of sap that hits the ground. Once you have foraging 1, which we're not there yet, you can also collect seeds from the trees, such as the acorn that I have. There we go. There we go. Foraging 1. We're done chopping trees now. That's all we needed. That is exactly where we need to be for tomorrow. Fantastic. Now, we're back to clearing logs from the ground. And once we run out of logs from the ground to clear out here, we'll hit the farm. Spend the rest of our time and energy for today chopping those. And as we wrap up the episode in a few minutes here, I'll be able to explain to you exactly why Foraging 1 was so very important to me, and why cleaning out the farm is going to be very, very helpful from here on out. The most important places, by the way, to clean out are near the trees that are already standing. If you can imagine, this has, as you can probably imagine, this has something to do with those seeds that I was talking about that can come off the trees. Man, I hope some of these are still seedlings tomorrow and haven't grown into saplings. There's a bunch of pine cones in the ground that I can see from where I'm standing, and I want to be able to gather those, but I can't until after I sleep and level up. Down here is basically a pine forest in the southwest portion of the map. It is overgrown with weeds, and there are tons of logs on the ground. Oops, don't chop the tree. Starting to feel exhausted. As soon as you see that message, you're going to start paying very careful attention to your energy, and once your energy reads 1 or 2, you will stop doing anything with a tool other than the scythe. The scythe does not cost energy to swing. Every other tool does. 3, 1. Alright, we're done. That's it. Whoa. It just clicked off of the screen for me or something. That was weird. Minimize the game window. Not sure what that's going to do to the recording, but I guess I'll find out when I edit. Nothing. Working your way around the rocks over here can be an issue. Working your way around the logs is even worse when you can't chop them down. And we're at 74 on hand, and I think I have a few more in the chest. So day 3, we should easily be able to hit the 300 number. hopefully we'll have some better luck day 3. If not, we might not even bother going out. Because if we can't get some decent forage out there, then there's no reason to be running around like a madman. I don't think I've checked the bus stop for forage yet today, so we'll go take one last look at that before bedtime. Coming up on 9 o'clock now, so I have a few more minutes. Flame. Alright, where? Gotta work my way through the forest here. Can't chop down the logs. This is a pain. There's a ruined abandoned building right over there. That's going to become important later on, but no spoilers yet. And up here in the corner, there's something that's actually kind of cool. Hidden behind this oak tree up here is a little shrine with a note pinned to it. PurpleMentat, wait for my return on the dawn of your 3rd year. Grandpa. What? Return? You're dead! So yeah, this is Grandpa's shrine up here, and I believe it starts to show up on the map at this point. Nope, still just says Atreides Farm. But yeah, if you look at it again, it says Grandpa's shrine. I don't know why he has a shrine out here in the middle of nowhere, or what this return involves, because I haven't gotten to the 3rd year. So we'll be discovering that together in slightly over 100 episodes. Yeah, we've got our time cut out for us, our work cut out for us here on the Atreides farm. Good. More junk removed. I think we're doing pretty good. We seem to have most of the weeds cut down. Still got this big patch of grass. I'm not going to remove this entirely, but I am going to spend a little bit of time every day trimming it back away from the trees, just to make sure that the trees have plenty of room around them to drop their seedlings. If we keep it contained, it won't be a problem for me. Alright, so let's deposit what we have gathered. And we're going to go ahead and sell off those horseradishes. Oh, nope, we only have exactly the 74 wood at the moment. And we're going to sell the clam. Yes. Horseradishes, clam, and we'll take one last look at the bus stop. Not seeing any worms at the moment. And, oh, yep, I definitely did not come out here because there's a couple of daffodils waiting for me. Excellent. Now, as I mentioned, daffodils are a pretty useful item to hang on to all of for later, because there is an NPC that absolutely loves daffodils, among other flowers. So you're going to want to save all of your daffodils. Alright, that looks like everything for today. I'm going to grab my seeds and my watering can and reorder my inventory so I'm ready to start the next day in full swing. Very tempted to nom this dandelion, or this horseradish. Yeah, I'll probably get another one. This will get me another day worth of growth out of my wild seeds. Whoops. You know what? That's not going to be quite enough, is it? 8, 6, 4, 2. No. Going to also need to nom the dandelion. I should have just done the dandelion in the first place. That would have been enough. But that's okay. We're going to chow down on that so that we can get these wild seeds planted and get one more day worth of growth out of them. There we go. And we go to bed with 17 energy. Go to sleep for the night? Yes. Now, here's why we wanted Foraging Level 1. Trees will now sometimes drop seeds. We can just walk up and kick a tree, and it may drop a seed. And we also gain a crafting recipe, Field Snack. If we combine a pine cone, an acorn, and a maple seed, all of which dropped from the trees, we get a bit of food that restores 45 energy. This is why we're going to be focusing on foraging and how we're going to end up solving our energy economy issue. Should have eaten that other one of those horseradishes instead of selling it. Oh well. Alright folks, that's all for day 2. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope you have enjoyed this episode. If so, leave a thumbs up, tell me what you liked, and if not, leave a thumbs down and tell me what I can do better. Either way, if you want to see more of Stardew Valley or any of my other series, click subscribe below, and I'll see you next time.